Hey everyone, it's Janine, your local realtor here in the Edmonton area. Today I'm going to be going over what happened in the real estate market for the month of February in Edmonton. So before I get too far, I just want to remind you that this report is based on the city of Edmonton alone. So we have a lot of little cities around that are part of the greater Edmonton area, as they call it, like Sherwood Park, St. Albert, Beaumont, Nisku, all these places. They aren't included in this report. We do have, however, still work there. So if you want to know more about a specific area, just let me know. I'm happy to go over that in detail. But for this report, for this purpose, it's only the city of Edmonton. All right, so we're going to start with the detached single-family homes. So we're just taking a look at the actives versus solds. We were at just over 2,100 active listings and about 453 sold, which means about 82% active and 17% sold. Taking a look at listings versus sold. So we had in total just under 1,000 new listings for the month and about 450 sold. So as you can see from the month of January, the listings have increased a bit and also the sales. This isn't really surprising. January is normally a little slower. February picks up as we go into the spring market. So taking a look at the average price, it has went up month to month. We are down year to year. This is not surprising at all. Last year was quite a different year than normal with the interest rates really low. We had that really big peak in the springtime. So this is a little bit more normal and we're back to a little bit more normal days on market for Edmonton. Last year we were at 39 days on market and this year it's more closer to around 50. Keep in mind that this is just an average and throughout this whole report, this is all just averages and a very general look at everything. So if you do have questions about a specific property or a specific area, let me know because everything does vary and the averages sometimes don't give a clear picture of what's going on because it just generalizes everything as a whole. So taking a look at the average sold price compared to last year. So we started here, we increased a little bit. As you can see, last year we were pretty much around the same starting point before the crazy peak happened. So we are still on an upwards trend, which is great because with all the interest rates and everything that has happened, a lot of people were predicting that everything would be going down. But the thing is that we are one of the most affordable cities still in Canada. So we still have a lot of relocation buyers and a lot of investors looking at Edmonton as an attractive option. I don't think we will peak as much as we did last year, but we're still on an upwards trend. So let's take a look at what's selling in terms of detached homes. So the most popular price range is between 300,000 to 400,000 and 400,000 to 500,000. Those two are the most popular. You'll see the most listings and the most solds within that range and the most activity in general. Once we start getting to over 500, the sales kind of drop off a little bit, which isn't surprising with the larger interest rates. Some people had to take a step back and lower their price range for their purchase. Months of inventory. So again, it kind of lines up, especially within the $300,000 to $400,000 range. We don't have that much inventory within that range. So some of these homes for sure will be competitive. You might even see multiple offer situations as we get lower on inventory. I personally have been in multiple offer situations this past week and I've even had to wait for showings outside a home. So there is a lot of activity happening. If the home is priced right and looks like it's in really great shape and everything, chances are you're going to have a lot of interest in that. So if you're a buyer right now, make sure if there's a property that you're interested in, make sure you go out right away and take a look because it might not stick around as long as you hope for. If you're a seller right now, especially within this price range, now is a great time to get that listed on the market. Days on market, how long have these been sitting on market for? So for most, you can expect around the 50-day average. It is pretty normal. You'll see these random ones that are lower. That's just because there hasn't been as many sales and luck has it that those ones went quicker. So again, like with everything, averages don't always tell the whole picture. So if you're thinking of buying or selling, it's always a good idea to really look at your own specific needs, to look at the specific property and how it fits in with the market. Okay, let's take a look at sold at or over list price. So if you remember last year, almost everything was going at least at list price or over list price. So for a long time, from once they started announcing the higher interest rates, that trend kind of slowed down. We weren't seeing as many going at or over list price. It really dropped off until this month where it's starting to pick up again. Of course, it's nowhere near the levels of last year, but we are seeing it increase. Okay, we're going to look at duplexes and townhomes. Before we start this one, just remember duplexes can be either part of a condo board or not a part of a condo board. And when they are a part of a condo board, usually the pricing is lower, and when they aren't, it's usually higher. So again, like with anything else, averages don't always tell the whole picture of the story. So if you are looking into duplex or a townhome, it's important to evaluate that property based on what it is and the comparables at that time. So taking a look at the actives versus sold, about 788 actives and 254 sold, which means about 75% active and 24% sold. Listings versus sold. So again, with this one, you can see the increase from January to February, more listings being added, more sales happening. We were just shy of 400 new listings for the month and around 250 sales. So as you can see, the activity has been increasing as we enter into the spring market. For the average price, it has increased month to month, and again, no surprise, year to year it has decreased. We have increased our days on market compared to last year as well. When we take a look at the average price compared to last year, we started a little lower, but we are on trend going upwards around to close to where we were last year. So we are on an upwards trend, and this market is getting busier. There's a few reasons for this. People are being pushed out of a higher price point because of higher interest rates, and also because of a lot of investors looking at Edmonton as an affordable option to invest in. What is selling? So again, the most popular price points are around that $300,000 to $400,000 range. You'll see the most activity there. And as well, 200 to 300. So in the 200 to 300 range, you could definitely expect those to be usually as a part of a condo board. Months of inventory. So we are getting a little low on months of inventory for the lower price range. As we get higher up in price, we have a lot of choice. So if you are looking in that price range, you definitely might find yourself a deal. Days on market. So again, we're around that 50-day on market point. You'll see the odd one that is higher, especially for the higher price, and you'll see some that don't even have any days. That's just because nothing actually has sold within the month, so we can't calculate the days average. So looking at how many sold at or over list price, so we are starting to see a little bit more selling at or over list price again. It is trending upwards a little bit compared to before, but again, we aren't where we were last year. I do see it picking up, especially with higher interest rates and people looking at more affordable options. Okay, so now we're going to look at apartment style condos. So taking a look at the actives versus sold, we had just shy of 1,200 active and just under 200 sold, which means about 86% active and 14% sold. So looking listings versus sold, so you can see activity has started to pick up a little bit again since January, which is no surprise as we go into the spring market. We had just around 450 new listings and just under 200 sold. When we look at the average price, we have went up month to month, and we're just down slightly year to year and about the same time on market. So that is good news for the condo market, especially if you are a seller. Taking a look in terms of lining it up from last year. So we started the year off being a little lower than we were last year, and now we're pretty much on point. So last year we did have a bit of a peak again because of the crazy market at the time, but we are pretty much lined up with last year. And the reason for this too could be because the interest rates are higher, so people are looking to get into more affordable place. Also because of the investors that are looking at more affordable options to invest in. And Edmonton is a very attractive city for them right now. Let's take a look at what's selling. Most condo apartment styles are going around the $200,000 range, so you'll see the most activity within that range. And as we increase the price, you'll see the activity drop off quite a bit. Months of inventory, so we do have a healthy range of inventory up to the 200,000, and once we increase that price, the inventory starts to increase even more. So if you are looking in that price range, you definitely have your choice, and hopefully you could find a good deal out there. If you're a seller within that price range, make sure your property stands out and that you're priced competitively in comparison to the others on the market. Days on market. So the apartment style condos go a little longer than the other types of property here. You can expect closer to the 60-day range is pretty normal. How many sold at or over list price? So not as many as the other types of properties, but we are seeing a little bit happening, especially up to the $200,000 range. If you have any questions or if you want to go over any of this in more detail and look at your specific situation, please reach out. You could call, email, text, drop me a comment below, whatever way works. And until next time, see you.